let's do a Shinola Teardown. And do we know what platform this is on?
It's
not Shopify. Based on .html being in these URLs.
Well, I looked at view source. There was no /Shopify anywhere.
Okay, so yeah, not Shopify, but we don't know what it is. And landing on the site, I am thrilled to see extremely clean main menu and header. And they have their promo is a watch about voting.
Well, it just show that you voted.
So you buy a watch?
I don't know.
It's called. Wait, does that say Detrola on it?
Detrola is one of their collections.
Okay.
It's like Detroit type stuff.
So we're really just going deep on Detroit.
Again, people were willing to pay $15 for the pen instead of $10 because you had Detroit onto it.
I see. So in the title, Shinola Detroit, you're right, the logo, Shinola Detroit. The watch itself says Shinola Detroit. The implication, of course, is that everything is made in Detroit, and it isn't the case.
It's assembled in Detroit by up to 100 people at any given time.
Uh-huh. So I like on the homepage. It's not a video, but it's very bold. It's colorful. It's highly stylized, and it's like like a slideshow.
Oh, I mean, I'll call it a
product
video.
photos.
I mean, it's like an animated GIF, but I mean,
it looks good.
Yeah, it's movement, which is good, but it's not a slideshow. That's different thing to different thing, but it still has movement. I think that's where we come down. Homepage movement good, slideshow bad, because it's giving you one thing and taking another thing away.
Yes. And then scrolling on down, they've got, they try and segment people, which is, I always think is smart. Men's watches, women's watches with 2 featured promos. They really keep it to like just a two column grid. And at any given time, they've made the elements so big, you really just have you only have the one decision at any time as you scroll through the homepage. And so first they try and segment us. Now they're going to show us their featured collection. I wish they'd showed us that first. I want more products. I think their watches are good looking. So why not lead with that? And I always find it very baffling when you're on an e-commerce website and you have to hunt to find a product photo. That should be what you lead with, right? And then finally, I'm over halfway down. Now I get to bestsellers where I can see their best-selling stuff. It's in a slider. I'd prefer it be a grid, but it's there at least, and looks pretty good. And there's a wish list. I can wish list this stuff, and a little bit of social. The final thing on here, social proof, where they've got a quote from a what I assume is a shopper, but who knows, and a very clean footer. That's a very nice footer. It's all just Helvetica, black and white.
Well, but
nice.
Also note the quote from the person is, "She's from Detroit."
Oh,
and
she is.
Such a great expression of Detroit.
It's a symbol of confidence, a badge of honor, and an expression of the place I grew up in.
As someone who grew up in Chicago and have gone to many Chicago Blackhawks games, I believe I am legally obligated to declare Detroit sucks.
I see.
Detroit sucks.
Okay. Please direct your emails to paul@ethercycle.com.
I'm sorry. I would get kicked out if I didn't say it.
Don't you live in the suburbs?
It counts. Cook County.
It's Cook County. You're right. Okay. All right. Fine. As the actual Chicago residents are like, this guy sucks. All right. Going back up to the
Better
header.
than Detroit.
They've got, if you hover over, men, women, supply, it's a main menu.
Good mega menu.
It's a mega menu. But it's clean, it's nice, it's easy to navigate. One subtle thing they did here is it is all left aligned. So my mouse goes straight down from the main menu to the stuff in the mega menu. And a lot of mega menus have an odd issue where they'll kind of you'll hover and sometimes they'll close on you. And that can be frustrating. This one does not appear to have that problem. So well executed. And they break it down first by broader collection by intent. So it's men, women, supply. And I really don't know what the difference is there.
Supply is not gendered.
Okay.
They're women's clocks.
You're right. Well, under women, there's a clock section, but so there's some overlap there, which is fine. Men shop by category. So they're known, clearly men's watches are their thing. should we try and shop for some men's watches?
Sure. And we're going to buy the Runwell Sport Chrono. It's got that Panda dial.
You are a sucker for Panda dials on chronometers.
Sucker for a Panda dial.
So when you land on the collection page, they've got a lovely featured lifestyle image that shows me 3 watches. I think that's smart. It kind of sets the tone, and it does a better job than a product on a white background, which is what you would typically see in the collection grid. So I'd like to have these lifestyle images at the top of my collections, especially for a lifestyle brand and something where you're selling a fairly expensive item. Like these watches are starting at $400 and going up to over $1,000. So non-trivial. On the left side, they're not doing filtering, but it's got like a breadcrumb thing. I don't know that I would heat map it to see if people use it. And then I got filters hidden, and I got my sort. And if you open them both, it kind of breaks. You get 2 X's. Got a little strange on me. And there's a lot of filter options. Honestly, I would prefer the way this worked was we just have regular breadcrumbs, and which people do use. You should have breadcrumbs. And then in that sidebar, do all my filtering down the side where that like extraneous weird navigation is. But you like a chronometer, right? So let's see, can I use the filters to figure that out?
I want that Panda dial, man.
I actually can't. Yeah, these filters.
It's just like the Runwell watch, the Monster watch, well, the Runwell Sport Chrono.
All right, so Runwell Sport Chrono 48mm is the one you want, right?
Yeah.
All right, when you hover it over it, it has an add to cart button. I think that's a misstep. There's no way I'm just like arbitrarily adding a few things for $900 from the collection grid and then buying it. I do like that they've got this new arrival text. I think it looks nice. And so far, this whole site really clean, and they've paid careful attention to typography, content. Everything's very consistent.
No, it's really good.
Once we land on this thing, whoa! What I love about this product detail page, this is the first page where that it has impressed me that I like, is the product detail page, where they've got this huge, wide landscape image where I can really see the details on this watch. It's nice.
Yeah, the image is really big, really clean, really great. And I mean, it's got that thing where when you scroll down, there's all the information, extra sales information, but it keeps the product form is positioned sticky and will just stick there to the top of your screen.
We see that a fair bit on these very premium sites.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really good. I mean, you don't have to go back up.
This watch weirdly has no reviews. That's suspicious.
It says new it said it was new on the collection page.
New, and they haven't shipped any? Like, did we just happen to land on the site right when this thing came out?
It says new arrival. Well, maybe it takes a while to get reviews.
I see. It's such a rough look when you don't have reviews. Maybe they should have done given a few away and got some reviews that way. I suppose they don't have to. The Amazon sellers know all about that.
What are the reviews going to say? Don't keep time good.
But they do this product detail page. They do a good job where we have alternating images left right as we scroll down. That really, when you're selling a watch for $900, you need to go into the details and justify why this thing costs $900. And they do that with these beautiful macro photos and pretty good text descriptions. Really broken up very well, makes it very easy to scan and read. And for presentation, it includes a lovely wooden box. And then finally, anything else they need to tell you, they put in a tab description at the bottom where it goes details, specs, reviews. That's pretty nice. And then you've got on the side, you permanently have that product form with another product description in there.
And we could pay $77 a month with a firm.
Yes, or 0% APR as low as $77 a month with a firm.
So less bad than a credit card.
Now, it does say starting at 0% APR. So that implies there are, for less qualified buyers, they're going to get hit with interest, and I don't know what it is.
Also note the movement in the details is made with Swiss and imported parts.
It's a little vague.
Thought it was made in Detroit.
Movement? It's a quartz movement?
Yeah, they're all quartz.
For $900?
That's part of the scam. Because you're made in Detroit. You're paying extra.
For a quartz watch?
Yep. I looked, the Monster watches that's like the Monster Collection. Those are like their dive watches. Those are their Rolex ripoffs. Those have a mechanical thing, but they're like $2,000.
The face on that dive watch, it like that is straight up a Tudor, which is one of Rolex's brands. You know what's interesting on the product form? It's got the add to cart button, and they say free 2-day shipping to the U.S., free returns, and if you click it, it links to a like it looks like a Zendesk help desk article about shipping and returns. I would probably make that a tooltip.
Yeah,
they've got the add to cart
just
button.
a pop up.
The add to cart button has no hover state. I think this is an opportunity to really polish this thing up, make it shine. Put like a nifty animation. A subtle but nifty animation on the add to cart button. And then there's a note that's interesting right underneath the add to cart button. This item ships internationally. So if that's a common question for you.
Well, that might imply to me that some items don't ship internationally.
I had that thought. Yeah. And then once you add it to cart, they've got this lovely drawer cart. It says, My Cart is the title. I like that. It's got all my info, and they did a cool thing of you can add gift options to the individual item, it looks like. And as an upsell, it has a link to compatible watch straps.
And when you click on it, it's really good. I mean, just looking at the URL, obviously, again, this is not Shopify, but I mean, you could do this in Shopify. Strap compatible case, 48 millimeter Runwell Sport. So these are truly only the straps that will work.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's like the equivalent of like filtered by tag.
Yeah, these are only
its own. They made a collection. Oh no, it's a filter. I could see it's a filter applied. That's clever.
Yeah, these will all work on that one.
They say, hey, let's increase this average order value on this $875 watch by $50 to $225, which is an outrageous sum for a watch strap. That's smart, but when you're buying a watch strap, the agony is, well, is it going to fit my watch, especially for $200? And so they're saying, hey, add compatible watch straps. They're suggesting it and removing the objection. It's smart.
I want that dark cognac leather strap with the light stitching, but it's sold out.
Oh no, I can't.
Also,
do they have like a back in stock?
It's also $95. I can join the waiting list by giving my email.
And I think that's smart. I like any kind of back in stock notification system. I think that's always bright. And then they say in here they've got some conditional logic. Your order qualifies for complimentary 2-day shipping. This is a thing we do in Shopify stores on like a weekly basis, where we add a little bit of liquid logic. Like if I know your free shipping threshold is $50, then we put some liquid logic in. Like if cart subtotal over $50, then display message, your order qualifies for complimentary 2-day shipping. Right. So you could borrow this in Shopify.
Oh, the gift options are just a message. It should just say add gift message.
All right, and then when I get to the checkout, it's a 2-step non-Shopify checkout, so I lose interest. But what I think is interesting about it is I would suspect that they said, let's make it look like Amazon's checkout. Like, have you gotten to the checkout?
Yeah.
That's totally Amazon's. This is inspired by Amazon, right? It feels like it.
I couldn't tell you.
I think it is.
It's a good site. It's a really well done, clean, easy site. They're not doing anything crazy. They're just presenting you with the stuff. Great imagery. I think that.
And for as much as we hammered them on the story, in going from homepage to buy, we never encountered the story.
We never encountered the story. The story is go all the way to the footer, company, about us, then click. There you'll get the story. But other than that, no story.
I'm scrolling through it. Okay. Again, so you're, maybe
it's sort of like Nicola, where it's like, it's the things you don't say. If you don't say anything, no one can tell you that you lied to them.
Well, maybe this was this stuff was here, and then they went, you know what, because of the criticism, let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that, our stolen Detroit valor.
You need an easier to say word than authenticity washing.
It does, in fact, authenticity washing is great. I like it. It's accurate, at least. Today, Shinola employs over 500 people, with an average of 100 in manufacturing at any given time. We proudly design all our products and globally source the best components. Seasoned manufacturers both in the U.S. and around the world. You're right. So, I I suspect that this was much more, because I remember when this brand came out and it was like, yeah, manufacturing's coming back to Detroit. It was very clear this was like Detroit start to finish.
I remember they had a big ad during the Oscars that they were just like, we're saving Detroit. Like, yeah, America. And I was just, it smelled bad to me. And I remember Googling it and I found that Inc. article.
Okay.
And one of them, Peter Farrelly, like mentioned it because the Farrelly brothers are from Detroit. When Peter Farrelly won Best Director or Best Picture for Green Book, he freaking mentioned it during his acceptance speech.
What?
He's just like, I got a Shinola watch they're bringing. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it turned out we're just reselling it. We're in Detroit, but not what it not everything it claimed to be. Mm-hmm. But you're right. I think that clearly they've walked that back, it seems like. So